Why? Why, oh, why, oh, why? Why is it? Why is it? We're going to get to the bottom of this while I clean up. Tell them to check. See, you're not stupid. Stupid. Sugar Bum, what's up, Mom? Hi. Sugar Bum, what's happening? Good to see you. What's up with my sister? How you doing? You get some good rest last night? How was your weekend? Yeah, Sugar Bum, we went to go eat, and you know what I'm saying, and stuff ran through my guts. El Cheapo, what's going on? I know y'all familiar with this finesse two time situation. You know what I'm saying? El Cheapo, are you? Sugar Bum, are you? Figured y'all might be. You know, why black men always told to check in? You know what I mean? Why do black men have to continuously be told to check in somewhere? For y'all, you know, because I have law-abiding citizens. You know what I mean? You know, majority of black people are law-abiding citizens. Let me explain to y'all really what that means if you're not familiar with it. It basically means when you're not from an area, you go to a certain shot caller. You know what I mean? And you say, hey, I'm in town. This is what I plan to do. This is my itinerary. And you know what I mean? Usually it involves some sort of a payment. You know what I mean? Where you kick bread, you know what I mean? You put the rappers in a position or they people on or whatever the circumstance, you know, for that particular shot caller or what he perceives himself to be a shot caller. And y'all know finesse two times, you know what I'm saying? He was pressed out in Fort Worth, Texas, you know, or what the guy perceived to be pressing him. And finesse two times got up on the car, you know what I mean? Basically said, hey, you know what I mean? Check in. Only place I'm gonna check in is jail, you know what I mean? And you know, so forth. And he stood up for himself and you know, so forth. Let me really talk about this, y'all, because you know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff is so serious in a way that it's got to be truly addressed. Cheapo, shout out to you. I know it's hella early. You know what I mean for you out there on the West Coast. You know what I mean. You know this stuff got to be addressed because one of my major questions is this: when Justin Timberlake come in town, NSYNC come in town, Tyler Swift comes in town, Sting from the Police comes in town, the um, name them. Name any major artist that don't look like you. You telling them to check in? Do they have to check in? Do they have to basically because basically y'all it's a form of extortion. That's really what we're talking about. And does that mean that you should go any place and create a circumstance and walk around in somebody's hood like it's yours and not respect their customs? No, it don't mean that. However, when you booked to be somewhere. You have business someplace. The earth is your stomping ground. And I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Let me explain to black men something. You niggas don't own shit. White people own this fucking land. All right? You don't own shit. Appreciate that light. If you own something, then you will get some respect. You don't own anything. You don't tell them fuck. And that's why I get so mad, y'all, because Gizmo ain't here. Y'all know one of my major things is black men take back your communities, own your communities, and get the respect in your own communities. You niggas don't even run. You niggas let Indians, Arabs, Chaldeans, Asians come in your own neighborhoods, take your resources, laugh at you, and you telling somebody else to check in? Man, get the fuck out of my face, man. Man, get the... Shout out to Cheapo. I think it's 100% stupid. No, they ain't checking. Check in with who? Like, checking who the fuck are you for somebody to check in with? You a cornball ass gangbanger with no real. I'm gonna tell you something, Cheapo. And this is to the chat so everybody understands this. When you're really moving in a certain way, in a certain fashion, you don't even want to be on law enforcement. Real gangsters move in silence, man. Let me say this again, y'all. Real gangsters move in silence. The last thing he wants to do is attract the attention and the efforts of law enforcement. That's the last thing he's trying to do. So he's trying to move in a way to keep his coat clean for the eyesight of the public. He is never trying to be out front, making moves and, you know what I'm saying, and doing things on the internet and doing things. No, everything he doing is like this. And so this idea that these guys are street, when it's actually the antithesis of street. You niggas is a bunch of tattletales. That's really what y'all is. And as soon as the shit happened, now you telling on everybody. You done exploited everybody. You done gave all of the information out. Law enforcement didn't have much to do because you done connected all the fucking dots for them anyway with your big mouth gossiping ass. But what you don't do is make nobody that don't look like you check in. Cheapo, Beyonce don't gotta, and Beyonce is, what you gonna extort Beyonce? You gonna tell her she can't go someplace? Okay, what's the guy's name? What's the guy's name coming? Bad Baby, the guy that's doing the Super Bowl show, Bad Bunny, that large Mexican Latino artist who got over 100 million sold on Spotify. With the LA game, they doing the Super Bowl out your way, Cheapo, this year. You gonna tell him to check in? Who you gonna tell to check in besides somebody that look like you? Or somebody that don't have a reach like you? You niggas is stupid, man. Some of you niggas is real stupid, man. And listen, I'm gonna tell you something. And I'm one of the only guys that's gonna say this. They got the ability to say it. Most of you niggas really do need to be out the way. And that's why I don't got no sympathy when you niggas go to jail. I don't have no sympathy, man. I'm not one of these, oh man, you gotta not lie. No. We do know the systemic racism exists. We do know that a lot of black men, you know what I mean, are put in crimes. The majority of black men are in there for nonviolent crimes. All this shit is facts. But let me tell you something. You niggas that's out here doing all of this shit against the community and not doing nothing for your people, man, get your ass up out of here, man. Get your motherfuckers the hook. Hey, y'all, what's that the saying, man? Y'all remember the Apollo where nigga he used to come out there with that goddamn cane? I mean, get the fuck off the stage, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And go your ass up in there, or whatever happens to you, happens to you. I have no empathy for you because all you do is come out here exploiting your own people, doing whatever you can to destroy your own people, and then cry foul when you get up in there, talk about the system. Well, nigga, you didn't care nothing about this. That didn't matter to you when you was out here disrespecting and dogging and exploiting it and mistreating the people that look like you. And now when they get your ass in there, now you crying for somebody to send you some money for commissary. Man, shut your hoe ass up, nigga. Shout out to, let me bag it up a little bit. Shout out to El Cheapo. I think that's stupid. Nope, they ain't checking in. Sugar bum. Black men have to check in because they Black men have to check in because they run nothing. Well, that's my whole point, Sugar Bum. If they don't run anything, then who they checking into? You know what I mean? Who are they running into? Who you checking into? You don't own nothing. You don't run nothing. Who is you to tell somebody to check in? Shout out to Sugar Bum. Maybe y'all should build something. This is facts. Sugar Bum, you ain't Sugar Bum. You're not gonna get no pushback from me. I've always said this. If you really want to get the respect of your women, they have to see you in leadership roles. So you're not gonna get any Sugar Bum. I mentioned this and I said this previously, and I'm gonna say it again here. One of the things that I knew when I knew that the streets was corny was when I got out with some guys and I said, man, listen, man, y'all, let's get these motherfuckers up out our neighborhoods. Let's do something for our own community. And y'all may say that that's not right or whatever, but we was already doing this stuff anyway, allegedly. So my position was, why not do something that benefits the people that look like us? Why not make a stand and, you know what I'm saying, and say, hey, y'all not gonna keep coming in here extracting our resources. You just not. Guys say, oh man, these guys cool, man. What you want to do that for? Awesome, you doing too much. But you the same guy that I see one of you guys threw some oatmeal in a black man face in jail for a $6 poker debt and told me that it was some hot oatmeal. You know what I'm saying? And messed his whole face up. And you told me it was the point. And I've seen black men do all types of things for the principle. What about the principle of this? It never made sense to me. It never made sense to me. And so that's, you know what I'm saying, that was, shout out to El Cheapo. They're not even buying the property in their hoods. They lose the family homes and the Mexicans move in. At least out here, yet they stand on a block they have no ownership to. This is facts, Cheapo. Cheapo, I'm not gonna never that you 1,000% right. And we've seen this all too often. You know what I mean? Where black men are trying to stand on some alleged sort of imaginary principle, yet you don't own anything around these people. You don't own anything, and nobody sees you as a leader. Nobody sees you as a person that somebody's going to acknowledge. You know what I mean? In terms of, from a positive standpoint. You know what I mean? And, we continuously do a lot of shit that don't matter. You know what I mean? We continuously do shit that don't matter. I'm going to tell you, listen, we got enough fucking football players and basketball players in our community. We got enough of that. We need scientists. We need mathematicians. We need lawyers. We need doctors. We don't need no more fucking football players. We need young black men in ownership, in business, running their communities, even just local things, right? That's what we need. We don't need no more fucking basketball players. All right? Shout out to Sugar Bum. When I travel, I don't have to check in. This is fact. Hey, Sugar Bum, and nor should you. Nor should you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's chasing. You know what I mean? You're not no star, Sugar Bum. Only in your mind you a star. Shout out to Sugar Bum. Unless you a gang. They always making, like, it's like you make the people that look like you check in when they're rappers or entertainment, when they're coming there to do business. And I'll tell y'all something. And then this guy gets up and says, I'm just trying to see who you checked in with. You know what I mean? And what are you talking about? Who somebody checked in with, nigga? This is the earth. He's not in your. Now y'all know I'm out the, y'all know I do understand street politics and this, that. So let's just say for a minute, y'all, I decide that I'm gonna hustle in a certain neighborhood, right? Then I have to do one of two things. I have to either get with the locals, let them know that's what my plan is, or I got to decide that I'm just gonna come down, get to it, you know what I'm saying, and then take whatever come with it and dish out whatever come with it. Those are my two options. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about doing legitimate business. Like, who are you to say where this man can and cannot go? You don't own them fucking streets. You don't own that goddamn venue. What you own? What do you have? Fuck up out of my face. Sugar Bum. That's most black men gone then. what we're talking about, that own stuff. Yes, we listen. We have to. And listen, sugar mom, you're not gonna get. Listen, you know me. You know me well enough to know I'm not gonna be no phony. I'm going to tell you exactly what I believe. You are right in this, and El Cheapo is correct. We have to. Black men have to be in. I'm all for black masculine, the upliftment of his mind and his position. He has to do it for himself, and then his woman follows. That is the benefit. This is why I always say a woman is the prize. However, a man is a prize catcher. She's not a prize unless he deemed her so. And so, but that's what women have to see. They have to see you in these positions, and therefore they, as a benefit, I see my man. I see black men in leadership roles. I see them in ownership roles. I see them often, and so they're able to gravitate toward that and to come, you know what I mean, and to wrap their arms around these men because they're proud of them. They see black men in ownership and leadership capacities. When you don't see that on your day-to-day, there's a problem. So these young women don't grow up looking to men to solve their problems because everybody that solves their problems is a woman, a black woman, whether she is in your home, a white woman who may be teaching you at school, or some sissified gay man, you know what I mean, at school. You know, because a lot of black straight men just don't really teach. You have a few, obviously, but obviously you don't have a lot. Sugar Bum, I'm going to Atlanta for Halloween to see Sexy Red. You're so silly. You come and see that hood rat, Sugar Bum. Sugar Bum, you too old to be seeing hood. You too old to be seeing Sexy Red. You should be trying to see what's that girl's name I like? Fantasia or something. Do Fantasia still perform, y'all? Is she going to concert? What you gonna do, Sugar Bum? You gonna go in there and twerk? You ain't gonna do but listen. You ain't gonna do but throw out one of them old ass ankles of yours. Shout out to Sugar Bum. You be safe when you come down here. She performing on Halloween. You already got your tickets? You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Shit is real. You cannot get respect from people, and if you don't take it, you cannot. Y'all have heard me say this previously. I'm gonna say it again. Black men want respect. Then you have to take the respect that you want. Nobody's gonna give that to you, and the first way you get that is by opening your own mind, begin to respect yourself, and then look around your own community and say, you know what, man, we have to do something about this. We have to do something about the people that extract resources out of our own communities. You cannot, I don't care what you say. Y'all, I went to this is just yesterday, y'all. I went to go get the food, Shabum, chat, and it was a beauty supply store, very, very large one. I go in there, these two Indians running. It's like, you need to leave your bag. A black girl tell me, I said, that's my daughter's, what's her name bag. I'm not leaving. I said, I can leave out, though. It's not a big deal. Oh, it's okay. Of course. Y'all are going there and get something for her face. I get some Vaseline and some bows that I had seen that I needed, right, for her hair. Go in there, y'all, get that. I see this Indian motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? He in there with a 41 millimeter Rolex. Y'all, gold, right? President, y'all, is the bracelet. People don't know that because they ain't never had them. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. President isn't the. It was a day date. That's the dial. You know what I mean? The bezel, but it was a president, and because Rolex has a few different bracelets. They have the Jubilee, the Oyster, the President. They have a leather band as well. You know what I mean? But those are basically the four main ones. The Jubilee, the Oyster, and you know what I mean, and the Pearl Master. That's another bracelet that they have, right? I done seen this shit, had it, lost it, whatever, right? My whole point is, y'all, beautiful watch. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful watch. He got it right from right there, right? From selling, you know what I mean, beauty supply stuff to people that look like us, me, every single day. That's a business that should belong to people that look like us.
How is Atlanta black? I keep hearing that black people run Atlanta, but every time I look around, y'all have been down here a year. I don't do much business with black people. I'm not in the entertainment industry, obviously. This don't really count. However, like I'm not but I'm talking about on my day to day, y'all. When I'm actually going through the day, buying things that I need, and dealing with a lot of, you know what I'm saying, just people in general, coming, going, dealing. I don't see black people in ownership positions. I don't. Shout out to Sugar Bum. I thought respect was earned. No, 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 Sugar Bum. Respect is taken. Black men, you have to take what you want. Nobody cares what you think you earned. I'll give you an example. Have you ever been in a job and you thought that you should be in a better position? You know what I mean? Or you thought that you had done more than, say, the young lady or young man next to you. However, they got it instead. Nobody cares what you think you earned or are entitled to in this world. You only get what you're willing to take. That is how the world is truly, truly shaped. Now, you're not going to hear that for a lot of places because a lot of people don't really know these things, so they just be talking. But however, that's really how the world really, truly works. You only get what you're willing to take. People have to see that you're serious about something, and then all of a sudden you open their eyes. Nobody cares about what you think you earned, what I think I've earned, what I think I'm entitled to. None of that factors in. The only thing that truly, truly matters in this world is what you're willing to take. Now, obviously, this is a masculine mindset, Sugar Bum. So this isn't necessarily geared toward women, even though I'm having this conversation with women typically being in the chat. However, this is the mindset that a man should have. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not looking for no handouts. I'm not looking for no favors. I'm looking to be about my business and create the opportunities that I want. Shout out to Sugar Bum. I don't like wearing fake jewelry. What do you? Oh, that's something else. Well, Sugar Bum, what you talking about, the watch or something? No, but you could if you wanted. That's not a, but that if you don't, that's good. But women who do, that's not like a knock on her or anything, because women can wear basically a lot of things that they really want to wear. Because there's not that stigma around it. It's not like not a lot of fake. Not a lot of guys are wearing fake jewelry now. Sugar Bum. A lot of time y'all think these guys is rich and they wearing them moissanite ass diamonds. They wearing you put that shit up under the light. That shit you put that shit up under one of them loops. And you be like, this is not it. And he talking about what he paid for it. Nigga, I dropped 100 bands. Yeah, well, my nigga, it's only worth 52. So, you just pissed on 48. So how about that? You know what I mean? Like, if your jury is not really what you paid for, it's what is it worth? It's what is somebody willing to give you for it. I don't care what your jury cost. You can tell that shit to somebody who don't know. I cashed out, niggas, 100 bands, 90 bands, 80 bands, 40 bands, whatever. What is it worth? That is what matters. You know what I'm saying? It's not what you paid for it, jackass. It's what is it worth? So if your jury, you know what I mean? If you paid 30, however, the only thing somebody's willing to give you for it is 16, you just lost. You lost 14,000. You just pissed on it. Your jury that you paid 30 for should be, it should be a minimum. It should be a minimum, at least worth 40. I mean, if you didn't, you know what I mean? And now custom pieces tend to be a little bit different because custom pieces are just made specifically for you. So if you want a custom piece, you know what I'm saying? But like people who really, really do this shit, they don't be busting down. They don't. That's some black people shit, y'all. People who really do this shit, people who really, really understand what you know what I mean, what a watch is and what it isn't. They don't go around putting a lot of. If they do, they let Rolex put the diamonds in. They don't go to no fucking. They don't go to Joe Blow and let him do it. They'll let Rolex do it because Rolex will stand by will stand by it when times get hard, or when you want, you know what I mean, you want to maybe resell that watch, or you want to, if they're not Rolex diamonds and Rolex didn't do it, Rolex didn't work on that watch. When you go to try to get it appraised, you're never gonna get the full value in it. You just not. You know what I mean? They're not gonna stand behind that work, right? Even if they VVS's. Listen, we didn't do this work. You know what I'm saying? We didn't. Yeah, this watch was not authenticated by our people. So we're, you know what I mean? And so a lot of times, y'all, we gotta, we gotta be more conscious of the things that we think that we putting out here. You know what I mean? But listen, shout out, but back to that's another subject. I'm gonna do a whole live on that one day. But you know what I'm saying? Listen, on the real, y'all, gotta get back to that. You know what I'm saying? This is a little streaky point because I gotta get some cleaning and stuff done, before I forget. All that trying to make black men check in and trying to, put us in positions where we have to, make these decisions and stuff like that. Shit is a joke. Stop trying to press black men to make these decisions, you know what I'm saying, and make us move like we some bums out here. Like you gonna try to bum rush black men, you know what I'm saying, to make us, we have to check in someplace. Man, the earth is my territory, dog. And as long as, I'm being respectful and I'm not coming and I'm not harming. Finesse two times, we're not harming anybody. Why is it that black men always have to check in? Like, this notion that black men have to continuously check in to different places in order to run it by somebody to let them to be extorted is a joke. We got to stop this, man. We got to stop this. We got to do better. Awesome city, so be it. I got to get out of here and chat. You know what I'm saying? I got to do some cleaning. Y'all know what it is. I'll be back.